All right, it is wedding day, and we are here with bridesmaid
Mallory.
Mallory. So, Mallory, tell us how you met Kailee and Mason.
Me and Kailee cheered at Coastal my first year, and then the first day we met, she wanted a picture, and that was like, ever since then, like we've just always been friends. She always just wanted to goose around with me, and it's just fun at practice. And then soon I met Mason came along.
So tell me about the time you first heard about Mason.
She told me that they've been dating for a while, and I've never really met him, but first time I met him, he was super quiet and just stayed on himself, and he still does.
Well, that's pretty cool. All right, so jumping forward to today, what's it feel like to be a bridesmaid in Kaylee's wedding?
I would never think that I would ever still be close to Kailee and Mason, just because after college, normally friends part ways, but me and Kaylee's always hung out. We used to come over every single weekend and hung out with each other, so it's just exciting to see them now.
In a few hours, they'll be husband and wife. So
I know.
That's awesome. Tell me some funny stories when they were dating. Tell me some funny stories you recall.
Let me think. I don't know. Whenever, I don't really hang out with them much because I'm from Mobile, so it is a far drive, but whenever we used to hang out, we would go to their apartment and hang out. And then once they moved into their house now, we had a game night last week and cooked out and hung out with everyone, just mailed the bridal party, and it was super fun.
That's fun. All right, let's have some fun. Predictions for today. When they see each other, when those doors open, who do you think is going to cry first?
Oh, I think Mason. Mason's definitely going to cry first.
Mason's going to
Yes.
cry. That's her prediction. All right. What about crazy stuff at the reception later on? Anything funny you think is going to happen?
I just think Kaylee's going to go all out with her dancers, because last night we practiced our line dancing at 12:30 a.m. until 1:30, so she should be prepared.
Awesome. We'll have that on video for sure.
Oh, yes.
Just fun stuff. How many kids do you think they'll have?
I'll probably say, I think Kaylee would want 3 or 4, and then Mason probably won't. I'd say Mason probably wants 1 or 2, but yeah.
So 1 or 2 or 3 or 4,
Yeah.
somewhere in between. Predictions on where they might settle down and live and call home eventually.
I think probably somewhere around this area, Foley, not too far, maybe an hour away, but
I think they'll
nothing
stay
too-
around here. Other fun predictions. If they were to win the lottery, it's nice to fantasize and dream, I guess, had all the money in the world, where do you think they would go and settle down, and what would they do with all that money?
I feel like they won't ever really settle down anywhere. I feel like they're just travel the world, because they've been on multiple cruises, so go to different places they've never been before.
Well, it's a dream you always hope comes true for them. And finally, what do you want to say to them? Best wishes and hopes and advice for them as they head off into newlywed land.
I've always heard communication's a big factor in relationships. Even if you don't want to talk to each other, communicate will help your relationship grow more.
And what do you hope they accomplish in life?
To stay close and always keep family close.
All right, so it's wedding day, and we are here with bridesmaid
Layla.
Layla. So tell me, Layla, how you know the bride and groom.
I used to work with Kay at a water park, and whenever we first became friends, we rode down a slide together, and then we've been friends ever since.
Well, that's awesome. How many years have you known Kailee?
So probably about a year and a half, 2 years, I would say, maybe a year and a half.
So Mason and Kailee were a thing when you met her then?
Yes, always talking about him.
Oh, okay. Tell us some juicy stories or some funny stories about their dating and prep plans for their wedding.
Prep plans. Oh goodness, I need to think. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I have the worst memory.
It's all right. We'll come back to that.
Yes, please.
Fun stuff. Predictions for today. When those doors open and they see each other, who do you think's going to cry first?
I think Mason is gonna cry because I feel like he's secretly a baby maybe. I feel like as soon as he sees her, boom, tears. And I feel like as soon as he cries, she's gonna start crying.
It'll be a happy tear fest.
Yes,
Awesome.
a tear fest.
All right. Some fun predictions for their lives. How many kids do you think they'll wind up having?
I think 2 or 3. Definitely gonna have a boy and a girl though.
Okay.
Just for the 2, but I don't know. I don't know how many. Who's gonna be the 3rd one?
So you think they'll settle down here locally or maybe move away? What do you think they'll do?
I think locally.
I think they'll settle down here local. All right, this is a fun thing to dream about, I guess. But
Yeah.
if they were to win the lottery, had all the money in the world, no money worries, where do you think they would go and what would they do with all that money?
I think they would go to definitely Hawaii because I know that's one of her favorite places to go. And then I think Kay would buy all the Lululemon in the world. And then I think Mason would buy a lot of things to put on shelves, like collectibles, his movies, and all his little knickknacks and stuff. And then probably he just bought this 10-foot Star Wars gadget. And I think he would buy a lot more of those.
You'd have to have a big man cave in their mansion.
Oh
maybe.
yeah. For
Hopefully
sure.
they'll share the wealth with all their friends.
Yeah.
All right. What about any advice you want to give them? Because they are lovey-dovey sweethearts, high school sweethearts, I guess, or college sweethearts.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get married, life can throw you some curveballs. And there may be inevitably some of those days where they're just like, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. Get away from me.
Right.
What's your advice for them when those moments happen?
I would say, at least for me, take your space for a minute, come back, talk it out. I feel like you're always going to work it out either way, but give each other time and the space that they need and then come together and be stronger than ever. Just talk it out.
Good advice. Love that. Good job. And finally, what do you hope they accomplish in life? Any best wishes you want to say to them? Stuff like that.
I hope all their dreams come true financially, career-wise, family-wise. Just, I hope they're the happiest people on earth because I love that she loves Disney, so I feel like she's gonna live her little Disney fairy tale. And I hope she has the best little Disney fairy tale ever.
All right. So on their wedding day, we are here with bridesmaid
Lauren.
Lauren, tell us how you know the bride and groom.
So the bride I met probably in the 2nd grade. We grew up together. We were still friends. The groom I met through her, obviously. I met him probably senior year of high school, and we've just been friends ever since.
That's awesome. So you've known Kailee a long time.
Yeah.
Tell us some funny stories about growing up with her.
There's plenty, but I think the funniest stories come from the cheer games because we would always act up. We never took the football game seriously. We would always just goof around because, it's Foley. They never won. So we had to make the games funny somehow.
So this is fun for their kids to watch later on. Was Kailee well behaved in school or did she get in trouble?
She was well behaved.
Well behaved. All right, kids, remember that. All right, predictions for today. Let's have some fun. When those doors open and Mason and Kailee see each other for the first time, soon to be husband and wife, who's going to cry first?
I think Mason will.
That seems to be the consensus. The agreement is that Mason's going to cry. We'll have it on video when he does. Predictions for any funny stuff later, like during the reception or at the party?
I don't know what will go on. I know that the boys will probably get wild. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
It'll be an interesting time. Advice for them. So, yeah, they're lovey-dovey high school / college sweethearts, now soon to be married. But life throws curveballs, and there may be some days, inevitably, when they just don't want to even look at one another. What's some advice for them when those troubled times come?
I feel like with that, communication and not to rush things. I know that y'all are getting married young, but that doesn't mean you're rushing it. It just take your time with your future together and not like listen to anyone, do things at your own pace, and always communicate with each other.
Good advice. Communication is key. Finally, how many kids do you think they'll have?
I think the least amount is probably 2, and I think like the max 4 or 5 maybe.
Ooh, so they might be busy.
Yeah.
They might have a house full. All right. If they were to win the lottery, you can always dream, right? So if they were to win the lottery, Mega Millions, no money worries in the world, where would they settle down? What would they do? And what would they do with all that money?
I think they would settle down somewhere in Hawaii. I think what they would do with the money is buy a beautiful house like on the beach, and they'll probably both stop working if we're being honest. And just live their life out there if they won the lottery. I don't know what else they would spend their money on. Probably like new cars or something.
Hopefully share it with their friends too.
Hopefully, 'cause I will need it.
Shameless plug. Anyway, all right. Some final best wishes, things you want to say to them, and things that you hope they accomplish in life.
I hope y'all accomplish like adulthood. It's very important. I feel like the main thing with today is make it y'all stay. Don't listen to what other people have to say. Just listen to what Mason has to say. And Mason, you listen to what Kailee wants throughout this wedding, and y'all just make it y'all stay and enjoy it.
All right. So, Miss Kailee, it is your wedding day. T-minus a few hours. What are you feeling right now?
I am overwhelmed with all the emotions. Like, I don't even know, like, can't even put into words what I'm feeling.
Nervous, a potpourri of excitement and anxiety and all the above.
Yes, want to make sure everything goes good and just ready to get it all done.
Perfect. All right, let's have some fun. So, predictions for today.
Oh.
I've already interviewed some of your bridesmaids, and you'll get to watch this on video later. But when you two see each other, when those doors open, who do you think's going to cry first?
I think Mason will cry first. That's the hope.
He'd better.
I think my dad will cry first.
Yeah.
And then Mason will.
Yeah, when Mason sees you, I'm sure he'll tear
Yes.
up. We'll have it on video when he does. All right. Any crazy plans for the reception and party afterwards?
Nothing really crazy, but we are doing something special. So instead of doing a bouquet toss, I am giving my mother my wedding bouquet.
Oh,
Because she doesn't really get to do anything like walk me down the aisle or any of that. So this is kind of like my gift to her. So that
That's
she's
sweet.
involved.
that's beautiful.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So skipping way back in your past,
Oh gosh.
we want to know the love story of how you met Mason.
So me and Mason actually went to high school together. He was on the band and I was on the cheer team. And then it wasn't until his graduation party in 2020 that we actually like full on met. And then so we kind of hung out all that summer because it was the COVID summer. And so then we hung out all year, and then his brother was going to be a freshman on the football team, and I was going to be a senior in cheer. And so then I had invited him to go to the freshman football game, and so that was like our first date together.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So during the dating period, who pursued who or whom the most?
I would think that Mason definitely pursued me more because in like early on in our relationship or before we even like got together, I was like, I do not think that this man is single. There's no way that he can be alone. Like he just seems like such a great guy, and I just don't know how he would be by himself. So then it kind of like took me a minute, and I was like, I don't know, I guess I'll give it a shot. And then now here we are.
Well, it's a compliment to that young man.
Yes.
Listen to that, Mason, and watch this years from now. All right. When did you start feeling things were getting serious, like you were maybe thinking about this day?
I would probably say like a couple months into our relationship, it just felt like we were something different than anyone I had previously been with, or like any relationships I had seen. And I was like, there's something off about this, which is also why I did not want to get with him, because I was like, he's either going to be my worst heartbreak or my forever love. And I just wasn't willing to put myself through all the heartache and everything. So then once I finally like took a shot at it, I was like, this is definitely something special. There's something unique about us.
Wow. That's a sweet love story. All right, tell me about the proposal story.
So we had been together for about 3 years at this point, and from like our 2-year mark on to whenever, I was always saying like, hey, you know, I think we could get engaged pretty soon. And Mason always had me thinking like, we are not going to get married for at least 5 years of being together. And so I was like, why? Like, I just want to marry you. Like, I think this is it. And so he had me fooled completely. And then come like, we went on a vacation cruise with all of our family. And so he had already been planning since like the October before. And I had no idea. He kept it such a good secret. And like, I give kudos to him all the time, because we cannot keep a secret for anything. And so then he had like bought the ring and everything, and we were on the cruise, and it was white night. And so our whole entire family party was taking pictures together on this beautiful staircase. And so then we were like, okay, well, let's get some individual pictures now. And so then me and Mason try to start like walking down the stairs, and Mason's like, no, let's just wait here. Like, we'll just be the first people to take our pictures. And I was like, well, yeah, but like, let's let everybody get off the stairs first, because we had like the whole entire group of guys behind us, and then all the women were in front of us. And so all the women had stepped out, and then Mason, I guess, got his nerves worked up. And so then he just got down on one knee, and I bawled my eyes out, because I just did not even think it was any sort of possibility at that point. And so it was like the most magical day, and everybody was even worried if I was even going to say yes or not, because I was bawling my eyes out so much.
That's sweet. That's a sweet story.
Yes.
All right. So tell us how you picked this venue. How did you decide on Glory Farms as your wedding site?
So we were kind of in a tiffy, because we wanted to do like a destination wedding, but we have some more elder family members, so we wanted to make sure that they were going to be able to travel and everything and come to the wedding, since we were kind of like the first kids in the family to get married. So we decided to go a little bit more local, and then we had toured a couple other venues around here, but I really loved the venue because it had like the outdoor ceremony spot, and it was under like the big trees, and I've always wanted like a fairy tale wedding. And so I really felt like that was what the ceremony was. But then I was kind of up in the air, because in Alabama, you never know what the weather's going to be. So then it was kind of like worrying me about the reception space. But then we just went ahead and decided to go with it. And I knew it was like a great decision, because when we came to make the deposit, they said that they were putting up like walls just in case of any sort of weather or anything. And I was like, this was just my sign that like this is going to be the perfect spot.
It was meant to be.
Yes.
All right. So jumping forward in your lives, what have you guys talked about? How many kids do you hope you guys wind up with?
So it's kind of crazy, but it's not a hope. It's a will happen, because I am going to have 4 kids. It's always been my dream to adopt. So I'm going to naturally birth 2 kids, and then I'm going to adopt the other 2 like kind of later in life. So then we'll like spend our time with our kids or whatever, let them grow up a little bit, and then adopt 2 more. And I'm going to have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Wow, that's cool. You
Yes.
got it planned out.
It was originally 8, so that everybody had enough to hang out with each other, but I got talked down to 4. So
All right. Well, you guys will keep busy for sure
Yes.
with 4 kids.
yes, and we're big into sports and everything, so we're going to need a big old mom van.
There you go. What do you guys hope to accomplish in life? What are some of your goals that y'all have talked about?
We definitely want our happiness to be the majority of our life, and we don't want to be held back by work or family or school or anything like that. So we just want to make sure that like our happiness and our love for each other is the foundation, and then go on from there, and hopefully maybe in the future me be a stay-at-home wife, just because that's how Mason's grown up with his family, and he's loved seeing how his parents have been able to be there for everything, and so Mason wants that as well. So that's our hopes, and kind of hopefully move away a little bit from family so that we can start our own life and kind of grow up on our own, and then we can come back if we need to or anything like that.
Awesome. That throws me to my next question. It's fun to dream. So
Yes.
if you guys were to win the Mega Millions lottery,
Oh yes.
no money worries in the world, where do you think you would settle down, and what would you do with all that money?
Definitely pay off credit cards because I'm a big spender. And then it's always my dream to have a Tesla, so I would definitely get that. And then get Mason a new vehicle just because like his is a little rough. Like it's still nice and everything, but like I just feel like he could use an upgrade. And then we'd get like a nice house, I think with about like 5 bedrooms maybe, like 2 stories, and I think we would settle down in one of the Carolinas because it's nice and pretty in the summer and nice and pretty in the winter, and it's still close enough, and we're kind of on our own but not too much, so I think that would be great.
Interesting. It's always fun to dream.
Yes.
All right.
Maybe it'll happen one day.
Finally, if you had Mason right here and could talk to him, what would you say to him before your wedding hour?
I'd say I'm so lucky to be with you. I have missed you so much because we haven't talked since we left last night. I know we're super nervous, but I know everything will go okay, and don't stress out. Everything will be good. I'm taking your words and I'm just letting things go.
All right, so it's wedding day, and we are here with bridesmaid
Trinity.
So tell us how you know the bride and groom.
I know Kailee from Coastal. We shared together in college. And then I met Mason through Kailee.
Awesome. So you've known her for a few years now. Tell us how you found out they were kind of getting pretty serious about one another.
I'm going to be honest, they were already pretty serious when we met them. Because they had been together for 2 years
Okay.
by the time we all became friends.
So when did you find out about the wedding?
The day she got engaged. She
Oh.
texted us a couple minutes after she got engaged and sent us the pictures.
So you knew you were going to be a bridesmaid pretty early on.
Yes.
You've had time to prepare. All right. Some fun predictions for today. When they see each other for the first time here in a few hours, who's going to cry first?
Probably Kailee.
Kaylee.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say Kailee.
Most have said Mason, but we'll see if that happens. Predictions for later on. Any funny or crazy stuff at the reception or party?
Probably Kaylee's line dancing.
We've heard about that
Yeah,
one.
I would say that. She's really excited for that.
Yeah, we'll have that one on video as well. All right. Let's see, advice for them. Everything seems lovey-dovey in their high school / college sweethearts, but when you get married, things change, and inevitably there's going to be some of those days when you just, get away from me, and that can happen. What's your advice for them when those rough times come?
I would just tell Mason to keep Kailee happy and to do what she says.
Keep him in line.
Yes.
All right. Predictions for how many kids they'll have.
Oh, I actually know this answer. She wants 4, and she wants 2 her own and to adopt 2, but she also wants 2 under 2.
So you've already heard the inside story on that one.
Yes.
We interviewed the bride, and you're exactly right. If they were to win the lottery, it's fun to dream. Mega Millions, tenfold. They have no money worries in the world. Where would they settle down, and what would they do with all that money?
I really don't think they would go anywhere just because Mason does not want to move out of Foley. But I think, honestly, Mason will want to be responsible. and not go big and crazy. But I do know Kailee, and she would want to go big and crazy. So they'd probably go Kaylee's idea and probably go on a giant trip.
We've heard stories of Hawaii and the Carolinas, so
Yeah.
never know.
Kailee.
Let's see. What about any best wishes or hopes, things you hope they accomplish in life?
I really just hope they have a happy long marriage and plenty of kids as she wants, and everything goes smooth for them today.
It is wedding day, and we want to know who we're speaking with.
My name is Logan Jolenberg,
Brother of the groom.
brother.
So what's it feel like to see this day finally here?
Very proud of my brother. I'm very happy for my brother. Ready for the night.
So tell us a story about the first time you met Kailee, and be honest, we want to know your first impressions.
When was that? It was after a football game, and that's when my mom met her mom, and we all went to Velarde's, and we went to go eat, and then we met Mason. We met up with Mason at Bon Secure Dock. You remember that? Hi, Kailee. Yeah, that's when I met Kailee for the first time.
Awesome. So you've seen them grow and fall in love and everything. When did you first get the hint that maybe there was something pretty serious going on between them?
When we took a trip up to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, that's when I knew it was getting serious.
Uh-huh. All right, let's fast forward to today and some fun predictions. When those doors open and they stare each other in the eye, who's going to be the first to cry?
Oh, that's a good one. I think Kailee. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Nah, Kailee. Yeah, Kailee.
Kailee.
Mason. I think he'll sob at first, but I think it's Kailee that's gonna cry first.
All right, we have your prediction. All right, fun stuff for their life. How many kids will they have?
It's either one and done, or they're doing two. No more than two, though.
No more than two is your prediction. All right, another fun thing to dream about at least. If they were to win the Mega Millions lottery, no money worries in the world whatsoever, where would they go, what would they do, and what would they do with all of that money?
Mason will buy more Legos. They will go to Disney World, Disneyland, Universal Studios, and a Disney cruise. Anything revolving Disney, Marvel, or anything around that, that's what they're doing. Until they're out of money.
It's nice to dream at least. All right, some advice for them from brother. Everything's lovey-dovey. They're high school / college sweethearts. But as you know, when you get married, and you might not be married, but you might have heard anyway, life throws you curveballs. And there just may come a day when they just don't want to look at each other, don't want to hear each other's voice, just want to separate as far as they could. What's your advice for them when those moments happen?
Flowers will fix everything.
Flowers will fix everything. Good advice. Good advice. What about some of the most sentimental things you want to say to your brother and Kailee? What do you hope they accomplish in life from 1 year, 5 years, 50 years from now?
Just hopefully they get the dream life. Everything works out. Hopefully they have the kids they want, the house they want. I'm happy for them, proud of them. I have high hopes for them.
All right, so it's wedding day, and we are here with groomsman
Hunter Monty.
Hunter. So, Hunter, we want to know how you first met Mason.
First met Mason. Where were we at? I can't think of it right now. Where did I first meet Mason?
Well, we'll come back to that.
All right,
Let's table that one.
Put a new
So
one in.
you've known him for a while, I'm assuming. So
Sir.
when did you first find out about Kailee?
Actually, I met Mason I met Mason through Kaylee.
Oh, okay. So they
Yeah.
were a thing when you guys
Correct.
met. Ah.
So my girlfriend Layla worked with Kaylee at her job, and they became such good friends, and that's kind of how we all connected. So me and Mason met each other. I can't think where for some reason right now. I guess because I'm on the spot, but and you know it's just been pretty good ever since then. And I do know where the first place we met was no, it wasn't at Hangout Fest. Dang it, where was it? Anyways, yeah, I met him through his girlfriend Kaylee. Or,
Okay.
I guess fiance.
Gotcha.
Wife to be.
So what's it feel like to be asked to be a groomsman in the wedding?
It was awesome. I did not expect that at all. Honestly, they were picking out venues, and one venue was beside my house that I used to live at, and we met them down there that day, and they talked through that venue, and obviously didn't end up liking it, but and he asked me that day, and I was just blown and obviously super excited about it. But yeah, I had no idea he was gonna ask me, so it was definitely an awesome feeling to be
That's
picked,
cool.
'cause that's a small amount of people to get picked from, so
Yeah.
I appreciated it.
That's awesome. It's a big honor.
Oh yeah.
So, fun stuff. Predictions for today. When they see each other, when she walks through those doors, who do you think's going to cry first?
Probably me.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Probably Mason for sure.
That seems to be the agreement.
Yeah,
Mason's
Mason's probably gonna be the first one.
He
to
might
go.
tear up.
And then we're all gonna react from Mason, so it's probably gonna be a meltdown. We're gonna be sweating tears outside our eyes and our eyes.
It'll be a fun time, though.
Oh yeah.
Well, what about predictions for the party later on? Any crazy stuff going to happen?
Oh, I hope so. That's the plan. It's supposed to be more memorable, so well, hopefully we can make it that way.
Gonna make some fun stuff so we can catch it on video.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, predictions for their life, fun stuff. How many kids will they wind up having?
I've never asked Kaylee that question, but if I had to guess, 3 or 4 for sure. I feel like she's the type of person that wants as many as she can get. And Mason's gonna do whatever she wants for the rest of his life, so I think that's where it's gonna be around.
Awesome. A fun thing to dream about is if they were to win the Mega Millions lottery, no money worries in the world, where would they settle down and what would they do with all that money?
Probably here. They probably wouldn't move in this because they're so close to being family oriented, honestly. So they'd probably just buy here, build here, live here, you know, and just spread it throughout the family. I feel like that would be their plan with it. I don't think they'd go to some extravagant state or country. I think they'd stay right here.
Stay kind of close to family. All right. Advice for them. Now, being not married is fun, lovey-dovey, and when you don't see eye to eye, you can kind of split and make up a little bit. Marriage, however, can throw some curveballs, and there may be inevitably some day when they just don't want to speak, hear, see, or even be around one another. So what's your advice to get them through those tough times?
I would say the best piece of advice I've ever heard on marriage, and I'm not married obviously, but I think the number one thing you can do is to not ever even mention, you know, leaving, moving on, or any kind of divorce. It should be completely out of the vocabulary, in my opinion, just because, you know, when you're here and you get married, and it's till death do us part, so you keep it that way. You keep your word with each other. You know, everybody's got problems, so everybody can work out problems.
Very good advice. Wonderful advice. I agree 110%. Let's see. Finally, what do you want to say to them? As Mason is your buddy, and to Kaylee as your friend, and what do you hope they accomplish in life?
I hope they accomplish everything that they've really ever dreamed about, and you know, so far so good. They're out living together in their own house now. both got 2 good jobs. They love what they do, so just keep doing what you're doing, really, and you're going to be just fine.
All right, so we are here with the groom, the man of the almost hour. Tell us what you're feeling right now.
A lot of emotions, mostly scared, but also happy. Yeah, I'm just excited, really.
You couldn't ask for a more beautiful day, so it's
Yes.
going to be a wonderful
Yeah,
wedding.
especially that hurricane came by last week. That really helped us out.
So the fun stuff, we want to hear the story from your side. We've heard it from your fiance side, soon to be brides. We want to hear how you guys met one another.
Okay, I might get the story mixed up. Hopefully, she don't get mad about that. It was a Foley game. I think it was a basketball game when we first met, and we went out to Sonic as our get together. It wasn't like a date, but like a first get together, and that's where we officially met. So hopefully I don't get that messed up. I'm so
That's
nervous.
all right. So when did you start kind of feeling like things were progressing this kind of a romantic relationship?
So I don't know if everybody knows this, but she asked me for my Snapchat, and you know, I said okay, gave her my Snapchat. We started snapping each other when she got back home, and I was like, all right, let's go on a date. She said yes. We went to see Words on the Bathroom Walls, and after that, we enjoyed the movie. Came back home, dropped her off. I was like, all right, I'll see you later, and she gave me the first kiss. And
She gave you the first kiss.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
She was walking back. She came back, ran to me, and gave me that first kiss. And at that moment, I knew she was the one.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt something sparked inside me, saying
Well, that's a
that
beautiful
she's
story.
the one. Yes.
That's awesome. She's in love with you, young man. I'll tell you that. We've got some beautiful stories on video. So tell us the proposal story from your side.
So, it was a lot of months on planning. We tried to do somewhere local, and again, most of the time it was between me, my mom, and her mom mostly. Tried to do it somewhere local, like the local park and stuff. And we realized we're about to be on a cruise in 2 months, I think it was. And that's when I had the ring, and we decided to do it on the cruise ship because, again, it was beautiful. It was in front of all of our family and friends. And yeah, we just did it first day or second day on the boat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful story. All right, predictions, fun stuff. Let's play pretend here. Predictions for how many kids you guys will wind up with.
Oh, yeah. Her mom told me that she wanted 8 at first, but had to talk her down to 4.
Oof, that'd be a Brady bunch right
Yes.
there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I want to do 2, but if we do 4, that's completely fine. We're going to do 2 of our own, and then we're going to adopt 2.
That's awesome.
So if we get 2 boys, if we get 2 of our own boys, we're going to adopt 2 girls, vice versa.
Gotcha.
So,
That'll be fun. Keep you guys busy though.
yes.
That's for sure. All right, fun prediction. If you were to win the Mega Millions lottery, we can all dream about it, right?
Yes.
No money worries in the world. Where would you guys settle down, and what would you do with all that money?
That's a good question. We definitely take a good long vacation. We'll find a house, a better house. I guess we'll build our own house, I should say. And we also go, from my side, I'll invest in a company or, invest the money so we can make more. So, yeah, just making her happy, pretty much.
It's
what
fun
my
to
goal
dream.
is.
It's fun to dream. It's fun to dream.
Yeah, just making her happy is my goal to,
If it's meant to be, I hope it happens for you
yes,
guys.
yes, sir.
All right, predictions for today. When she walks through those doors and you see her and she sees you, who do you think will cry first?
That's very hard to. I'm going to say me, only because I've been dreaming about this day ever since I was little. I grew up watching my parents with a happy life, and I always wanted that. And today is the day that it will start. But I haven't seen her dress yet. I haven't talked to her today. So I think once I see her in that dress walking down with her dad, I think I'm going to tear up.
That's real then, buddy.
Yeah.
It is real. Awesome. Let's see. If she was here right now, just you two alone, what would you want to say to her?
I'm going to enjoy this day. There's so many things I could say to her. We're gonna have a happy life. I know that for sure. After today, we're gonna have a happy life.
All right, so it's wedding day, and we are here with groomsman
Buster Bergman.
Buster. So tell us how you first met the groom and the bride.
Okay. It wasn't by choice when I met Mason because we were in kindergarten. So I've known Mason pretty much my whole life. About 6 years old, we went. Actually, it's pre-K. We were in pre-K. Miss K was her name. It's the pre-K school teacher's name. And then we've had several classes throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school. We marched band together in middle school. We were on the drum line together, and in high school we marched drum line together as well. It was a good old time.
So you've known him a long time.
I
You and
think
Mason.
it's 18 years now.
Yeah.
18 or 19 years.
So when did you first find out that Mason had a sweetie named Kailee?
I had to have been about a little while after we graduated, I think, is when I found out. I was happy for him. I like to see everyone have a good woman.
Amen to that. All right, when did you find out you were going to be a groomsman?
Well, life isn't what you planned it to be after high school. It's really not. So once we graduated with on weird terms, like 4 months later than what we graduated in June 20th, because of COVID. And after that, I went to the fire academy and got busy with that. And so we weren't able to spend a whole lot of time together. But we kept in touch. And he kept telling me, he's like, man, I got a gift for you. I was like, all right, man. I figured it was a birthday gift. All right, man. Well, we got to get together soon and handle all that. And I can't exactly remember where we were, but he asked me to be his best man, and I was honored. I really am. I was honored. And then we went to the bachelor party, and he gave me this cup, got my name on it, and another gift to be a groomsman, and it was amazing.
And that's
Really
cool.
honored to be.
That's an awesome story. All right, fun predictions for today. When they see each other, when she walks through those doors and he sees her and she sees him, who do you think is going to be the first to cry?
I'm pretty sure Kaylee's already crying from stress and nervous. Yeah, I know he's nervous. He's on the way to the bathroom right now. He's gonna cry. He's gonna cry as soon as he sees her walk down the aisle. I think I'll probably tear up too. It's an amazing moment for anyone.
It is. It is. Crazy stuff anticipated for the reception, the party. Any fun predictions?
I think once all the lightweights leave, I think it's gonna get a little rowdy. I think.
We'll have it on video.
I think it'll be a good time.
Awesome. All right, fun predictions for their life. How
their
many
life.
kids will they have?
They're gonna have 2 kids. I think they're gonna have 2 kids.
2 kids is the prediction.
I think they're gonna have a boy and a girl.
Okay. Will they move off somewhere or will they stay here local?
They're gonna be here local for maybe a year or two, a couple years maybe, and I think they're gonna move off.
Think they'll move and
Yeah.
kind of start something on their own.
But not too far away.
Still
Too
close
far
to
away.
family.
Yeah,
All
within
right.
travel distance for the holidays.
There you go. It's always fun to dream, I guess. So if they were to win the Mega Millions lottery, just loaded, no money worries in the world, where do you think they'd wind up settling down, and what would they do with all that money?
I think Kaylee's gonna want to go to another country. They're gonna move to some island, and Mason's gonna. I feel like Mason would be split between staying here locally and buying like a farm, kind of like this, and just living a quiet life and just moving away, getting lost.
It's fun to dream anyway.
It is.
All right. Finally, what do you want to say to your best buddy that you've known all these years, and say to Kailee, and what do you hope they accomplish in life?
Well, Mason and Kailee, I hope y'all have an amazing life together. I do see y'all staying together and having a bunch of kids too. And I think marriage is a beautiful thing. Y'all are going to be really happy. I hope y'all grow together and learn together. And I'm going to miss being on FaceTime with Mason and sneaking out of the house on FaceTime to go shotgun beers. But Mason, I hope you take care of Kailee, and Kailee, I hope you take care of Mason. It's going to be an amazing thing.
So we are here with the mother of the bride, and we want to know what you're feeling.
What am I feeling? Of course, I'm anxious just to make sure that all the planning and her day is like she's dreamed of. So, but I'm super happy.
Beautiful. Okay. So we want to know some fun stories. First
Okay.
off, tell us about the first time you met Mason.
Oh, one of the true first times, as in when they were dating, was actually the day Hurricane Sally was coming in, and we were at a friend's house, and it was just a bunch of teens, but I knew that there was a little connection going on, and so they were playing. We were playing Twister, or they were playing Twister. And we were just hanging out. The moms were just hanging out. And his mom was at home. And we didn't realize where they lived, where the friend that we were at, her house, it was like a dungeon. So we had no idea what really was going on outside. We just knew that, there was a storm coming. So it was about 9-ish, almost 10 o'clock. And we were like, oh my gosh, there's a storm coming in. We should get home. And Marcia which is mother of the groom, was freaking out that her son was out still till late. Well, everybody rushed out to go home, and got Mason home. He almost got grounded because he was stuck. Couldn't find his way home because all the trees were swinging across the road, but they had the best, most genuine time, and it was, I have a lot of videos of it, so it's really, really sweet.
That's a fun story.
Yeah.
So what was your first hint that there was something kind of really serious going on between them?
I think she is a very committed person, and I knew when she was talking about just, oh, he does this, he likes this, and they did things that I can tell that they were more friends, like there was a baseline of best friends, like that I knew at that point that she was hooked. And I mean, he just vibed with everything that she said, all the silly things that she wanted to do. They wanted to dress up for Halloween. They dressed up as Top Gun, and that was like less than a month after, and he was in full gear of Top Gun, like full unitard type thing. And so just like little things that most men would be like, no, and he was just goo goo gaga over her, and she was going with it, and so I knew then.
That's sweet. So tell me about how you found out about when the proposal happened.
He asked me, his 3 most important women in his life. Of course, he asked me a little separately, but he asked us 3, his grandmother, his mother, and me, to help him pick out a ring. And so, of course, we looked, and I would tell him, no, I mean, yeah. And of course, anything would have been beautiful. And then I decided to give him my engagement ring from her father and I. And I said, just use the stones and do whatever you need to do with it. So he took it there and he rode with it. And I think he felt better because everything he found for months was never what he truly wanted. Things were missing on his idea. So once he was able to create what he wanted and was able to use my stones that I had throughout her whole life. So
Well, that's a sweet story.
yeah.
All right, let's have some fun. Predictions for today. When those doors open and she looks at him and he looks at her, who's going to cry first?
I want to say it's gonna be him, but I think she's gonna be so proud of the moment of her. I'm gonna say it's gonna be him first, only because that's gonna be her pride moment where she's been dreaming of. So I think she's gonna take it all in, and it's gonna be a happy moment at that moment, and then I think it's gonna release. So I'll say him.
Happy tears
to answer
from
that
him.
question, yeah.
Happy tears from Mason. Okay. Predictions for their life. How many kids do you think they'll have?
If it was up to her, it's gonna be 4. But if it's up to all of us and normal reality, I would say 2.
2.
I would love for her to have 2, but she wants 4. He's scared to death for 1. He wants babies. He wants kids, but he thinks financially he has to be ready, but you'll never be financially ready, obviously, as you plan a wedding.
That's true. All right. Fun question. It's nice to dream. If they were to win the Mega Millions lottery, no money worries in the world, where would they wind up settling down, and what would they do with all that money?
Well, Mason would totally fall into a Marvel Lego world. And I don't know, Kailee would probably just be not smart with it. She'll be that pampered, like, I gotta go get this done, I gotta go get that done. But I think they'll have a nice big house, and just probably those 4 kids would probably come about.
Awesome. Okay, what about some advice for them? So today's lovey-dovey, perfect, a little nervous, and they're sweethearts. They're still young, and there's going to be those times, married life happens, when they don't see eye to eye, and they may just not want to see one another at all.
Right.
So what's your advice for them when those moments come?
My huge advice would be always see and think of their side as well. So although you may have, or she may have, her own points, I think she should put herself in his shoes and also see it in his eyes as well, so that will help her understand. Be full of communication however you can, and don't let money come in the middle of it.
Good advice. All right, now for the sentimental stuff. What do you want to say to your daughter? What do you want to say to your soon-to-be son-in-law? And what do you hope they accomplish in life, and all their wishes and dreams and aspirations?
I only want them to love each other in the most happiest life they could ever wish for. I think it's only up from here. I want them to grow together, and see eye to eye. And even if they don't, be able to know that differences are okay, and just fight for each other and put themselves first, each other first.
So T-minus a few hours, we are here with the late arrival groomsman. I'm just picking on you. And your name is?
George.
George. So George, tell us about how you first met Mason and Kailee.
It's been a while back. I've known them for quite a while, and we met. I knew Mason first, and it was like middle school. I'm pretty sure we met, and he was in the band, and I played sports, and we got to meet each other through that and see each other on and off field. and then Kaylee came in the picture a little bit later, and we would always be at Mason's house hanging out, and Kaylee would be the one that would come over, and we eventually saw them grow closer together and end up dating. And now here we are.
Here we are. So what gave you the first sort of hint that there was something more than just friendship going on?
I think the more she started showing up to Mason's house, when they started, she was over there more and more often when we were, and I was like, well, I feel like something's starting to come along now. So, yeah.
It was pretty obvious by then.
Yeah.
Okay. So when were you notified you were going to be a groomsman?
I actually filled in for another guy that was able to not be a groomsman, so I was notified a little over a month and a half ago, around that. So,
okay. So
yeah,
it's pretty recent then.
Yeah, I was able to fill in.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Well, let's have some fun. Predictions for today. When those doors open and he sees her and she sees him, who's going to cry first?
Mason.
Mason's
I have Mason, 100%.
Mason's going to cry first. All right. What about any crazy moments anticipated for the party and the reception later?
I don't know. I mean, all I know is that you got to keep a popcorn bucket away from Mason. He seems to like to fill it up with beer and go to town with it. So as long as no popcorn buckets come out, we'll be good. So.
All right. Fun predictions for their life. How many kids will they have?
I've heard different from both. I think Kaylee wants 4, but Mason, I think he's good with 2. But I'm gonna go in the middle with 3. We'll
split the middle and go with 3.
Yeah.
All right. Will they wind up settling down and stay here, or do you think they'll move off eventually?
Stay here. I don't see Mason leaving this area. He really likes being here. So
I think they'll stay here local, close to family and friends.
Yeah.
All right. Fun prediction, or at least fun to dream about. If they were to win the Mega Millions lottery, no money worries in the world, had all the money in the world, where would they go and what would they do with all that money?
I think even if Mason did win that money, I don't know if he'd want to leave or go anywhere. That's the funny thing. He'll probably put it back in his savings and ride with it. But I think Kaylee ended up getting him out of the house and ended up making him go to like somewhere exotic like Hawaii or something like that. And I can see, or even cruises. They love going on cruises. I can see them doing several of those.
Might just buy their own yacht and sail the world.
Yeah.
Be the way to live.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's see. Finally, what about any best wishes, hopes, dreams? What do you want them to see them accomplish in life together?
I hope they're both able to really figure out their career, and I hope they're able to settle down. And even if it means they do move away from here, regardless, I hope they're able to just find what they really want to do and get settled before they really start moving along with their family and making a family. So I feel like they both have they still have plenty of time. They're both really young, so I feel like as long as they can know what they want to do for their life, I feel like that's a great start.
So we are here with the father of the bride in T-minus less than 2 hours. What are you feeling?
Oh my gosh, excitement. It's a beautiful day. Everything turned out great. We just put the last of the roughage upstairs and got everything squared away. I think they're going to be as amazed at what we've done out here as we will of them. And super proud of Kay and Mason both, and proud to be a part of it.
So tell me about the first time you met Mason.
Oh my gosh. I don't remember the first time that I met him, but I can distinctly remember when he asked if he could ask her to marry him. And he was a nervous wreck. He was just scared. I thought something tragic had happened because he was sweating and he's breathing heavy. He came in, he was almost tearful, and we talked for a little bit in the kitchen there at the house, and he left with, bro hug, and off he went. So we haven't had a ton of time to hang out over the years, but I expect that might change soon, I hope. As they grow older, we might grow closer, so I hope.
You bet. What's your predictions for today? When those doors open, Mason sees your daughter and your daughter sees Mason, who's going to cry first?
I a great question. I don't know. Mason's pretty fragile right now. He's nervous. He's nervous to be in front of the crowd and everybody else, so I assume his emotional state's going to be fragile. But I know Kay's been waiting for this. This is on her list. This is, and this is the guy she picked. And so she's going to be protecting the makeup, I'm sure. So she might be holding back tears, but I don't know for how long. So.
A lot of joyful tears.
Absolutely.
What's your some fun predictions for their life? How many kids will they have?
Ooh, let's not talk about that yet. I'm dad, remember? let's wait. I think they both could. I think honestly, they both could stand to work on their careers. I would like a less traditional path and get their career stable. Mason's always kind of thinking about going with his dad, and I think that's a great opportunity. But then he's also with the Riviera and stuff. So I think that's good. Kay's bouncing around too. Kids will set you straight. They'll put you in a box.
Yes, they will.
But it might, I think at this time they ought to just wait and just see how it goes a little bit.
Good advice from Dad.
Yeah.
Speaking of advice, once you get married, things aren't as lovey-dovey and perfect as when you're kind of dating in high school and college and on your wedding day. What's your advice for those inevitable times when they just might not see eye to eye?
When I got married, the most common thing is always compromise. And that's what all the older folks would say. You got to find compromise and blah, blah, blah. But it starts with communication, understanding, trust, and respect, of course. All the common things that we all know about any relationship. But, actually Tony and I were talking yesterday, and I just just made the comment 50%. Everybody, it's 50-50. And he goes, not really, it's 100 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, and he said, sometimes you got to give 120% because they're only giving 80%. And I think that's the key. I think you hit the nail on the head, and both people have to understand. And and also time flies. Wait it out. Time heals everything in a way, and just wait it out if you want it. If you want it, you can have it.
Good advice. Good advice from Dad. Finally, what do you hope? What do you want to say to them? What do you hope they accomplish in life? Just all those sentimental things.
Oh my gosh! The first thing I want to say is I'm here. I've always been here. I've been waiting for this opportunity to be a part of the big day. I can't wait to see how many more big days you guys celebrate, and I want to be included in everything. And I'll be here, and I'll be stable, and I'll try to stay healthy and positive and kind and respect your wishes as much as give wisdom where I can.
So we are here with the mom of the groom. What's it feel like? What are you feeling today?
Tired but excited.
Tired and excited.
Yes.
Potpourri of emotions.
Yes.
So tell us about the first time Mason brought Kailee home and told you the news.
Well, as far as them dating or as far as them getting married?
As far as them getting married.
Okay. Well, he actually had reached out to us and was wanting help finding her ring. And so we kind of took it from there. I was out ring shopping with him. Me and my husband, we'd go somewhere, we'd ring shop, look for, send him pictures, and he'd yay or nay it. Finally decided on creating her ring. So we kind of knew it was coming, but the big surprise was when they got engaged on a cruise ship. We all had a big group of people that went on a cruise ship. So there was quite a few of us, maybe 26, 28 people total, and it was an entire production that went on, and she had no idea. So we had an all-white night, dressed up, ready to surprise her. So we were having a group photo with the entire cruise party, and as everybody was lined up and set up in place, that was when he popped the question. So she was shocked. It was fun.
That's a sweet story. I heard a lot about that one.
Yeah.
So that would have been hilarious to see
Yes.
her surprise. So going back even further, tell us about the first time you found out they were a romantic couple.
Well, me and her mother, Miggy, were actually friends before they started dating. So they would hang out at the house, and we'd have pool parties, and they were just there together and never. It's funny because I really don't know how they actually ended up talking, but they were just around each other with mutual friends, and next thing you know, they went out on a date. But I really don't even remember how that happened. So.
We've got some stories on video, so
I'm interested to see how that turned out.
We know the inside scoop now.
Okay.
We've heard the story. So, what's it feel like to see them depart as husband and wife? What's that going to feel like for you?
We're good with it. We love Kailee. She's been in the family for us 3 years now, so we're good with it. They've lived together, and it's already kind of like they're married. This is just official.
Just making it official.
Yeah.
All right, some fun predictions for today. When those doors open and he sees her and she sees him,
gonna cry.
He's going to cry
He's
first?
He's going to cry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she'll cry first. I think he'll cry.
That seems to be the consensus.
Yeah.
That he's
very
cry.
sentimental, so he'll cry. He don't show it, but he's a very emotional person.
Okay, fun predictions for their life. How many kids will they have?
Oh, bless it. No. We'll go with 2.
2 kids.
2's good. 2's even.
Awesome. All right. Some motherly advice for them. As you know, it's easier to get along when you're dating in those early love years.
Absolutely.
As marriage happens and life happens, you can get through a few curveballs in there, and there may be some days inevitably when they just don't want to see one another, talk to one another, or even hear about one another.
And that's okay. We all go through it.
Yes, we do. And what's your advice to help during those times?
Communication is key. You have to communicate. You have to be willing to listen. Don't point to me. Yes, communication is key. You have to talk it out. You're never going to resolve it if you bottle it up and you do not say anything. It's just gonna brew, and then it's gonna get bad. So you have to talk about it, and do know that we're always here. If you need to talk, we are willing to listen. We can give you any advice that we can give you, but in the end, you're adults, you're married, and you're free to make your own choices. But do know that we are always available. If you need to talk to somebody or you have questions that you don't even know what to do, we can give you our experience, our advice, and you can bundle it all together and make your own choices, but you've got to communicate with each other.
Words of wisdom and good advice from Mom.
Yes, and Mason, show your wife some affection every once in a while. We all say, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, but you gotta show it, not just say it. So if you don't show it, it don't really matter. You got to show that you love that person instead of just saying I love you, because that tends to be a habit that everybody does just because, but you have to be willing to show that you love someone.
Yes, ma'am. All right, finally the sentimental stuff. What do you want to say to your little boy?
Oh no, because I'm going to cry, and we can't do that right now.
And your soon-to-be daughter-in-law. What do you hope they accomplish in life?
I said I was not going to cry on this. Okay. I wish y'all, I hope y'all have a marriage like me and your dad have. 24 years strong come Monday. So I just hope the best for y'all. I hope y'all grow to be happy. I hope y'all get, financially and career-wise, y'all find yourselves in a situation where you're good and you're comfortable and you can enjoy life together without, struggles. And I know we all struggle at some point, and you will, but just know that we're all here. If you need help with anything, we're just nothing but a phone call away. But I hope and wish every bit of the best for both of y'all. Can't wait for the grandbabies, but put a pause on that for right now. You're just now getting married. But I just wish the best for all of y'all. And that's it.
All right, so we are here with the father of the groom. Tell us what you're feeling on this exciting
son's
day.
getting married?
Yes,
That's
today
why
he
I'm here?
is. That's why you're here.
Hey, Marsha, you know Mason's getting married today?
Yeah, it's today. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, let's go with it.
So what are you feeling?
I'm feeling excited. I'm happy for him. I'm glad that the day has come.
So what's some advice you would give them through Once they kind of get settled in their ways a little bit, they can not see eye to eye on occasion. So let's get some fatherly advice from the groom's perspective.
Always got to communicate. That's number one. Number two, don't let the sun set on an argument. Take care of that before you go to sleep that night. Then the next day, everything's good.
Good advice. All right, some fun stuff. Predictions for today.
Fun stuff. Be spontaneous. Just get up, do something. Don't, if one of you want to do something and the other one just, I don't know, what do you want? Just make a decision. Do it. Go. Be a little spontaneous.
There you go. Have fun. When those doors open and Mason sees Kailee, who's going to cry first?
Mason.
That seems to be the agreement all around.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Seems to be the consensus. What about how many kids you think they'll have?
Gosh. Kailee wants a litter. Mason probably 2 or 3. So I'm gonna say 3.
3.
3.
All right.
Yeah.
Split the
Have them
difference.
close. Don't spread them out. Have them close together.
There you go. More fatherly advice.
Yes.
All right. If they were to win the lottery, Mega Millions, no money worries in the world whatsoever, where do you think they would move off to, and what do you think they would do with all that money?
Just invite me to your private island during Christmas. That's all I ask. Maybe buy me a plane ticket too. Other than that,
You won't have to buy you a plane ticket. He'll have the plane.
buy the plane.
That's it. He'll have the plane. All right. Serious stuff. What do you hope they accomplish in life, and what do you want to say to your son?
I hope you know that number one, be happy. Okay. 2, get settled into your job, your career. You're not going to make money right away, but over time, it will come. Just work hard. So, in marriage and in life, what you put into it, you'll get out of it. So, just work hard. Marriage is it's 100-100. It's not 50-50. It's 100-100. One day you're going to have to put in 120 because Mason forgot to take the trash out one day, Kailee. So you're going to have to put that 120 in. Mason, you're going to have to put the clothes in the dryer one day because Kailee forgot to put it in. Things like that. It's little things. So it's 100-100. Just work hard and keep pushing.